We are live in O'Fallon, Illinois. The O'Fallon Panthers have just taken the field, a late start, as the CBC Cadets travel to O'Fallon to take on the Panthers. My name's Randy Molman, Chris Maris alongside, and CBC starts the long path, Coach, of defending their state championship not once but twice. They're going for 3 in a row.
Well, and they'll be doing it with a new cast of characters, Randy. It's a completely new look cadet team with the graduation of so many seniors that have been 3-year contributors to this team. You know, the easy to find the Brett Gabberts and the Brian Bradfords of the world, but what a lot of people probably don't notice is that the major graduate
experience. A lot of people think they're going to turn it around pretty nicely this year. They're expected to be much better than that one-win team last year, more experience. But for CBC, you mentioned it, they lost Brian Bradford, 2,000-yard rusher, Brett Gabbert, who threw for 3,000 yards and only 2 interceptions, Nico Hayes playing at Mizzou.
And not the only freshman not getting redshirted, by the way, and he was their last signee.
That's right. Julian Williams, Carson Buddemeyer, 3 offensive linemen, Ben Stater, Josh Bloor, Robert Gorzyk. And then on defense, their top 8 of 11 tacklers are gone from last year, and 34 of the 36 sacks are gone from last year. So it is, you know, everyone seems to think CBC is rebuilding. I don't know about rebuilding. CBC reloads.
Well, they do reload, and we were in a very similar situation, you know, 4 years ago, when Brett Gabbert took the reins as a sophomore, and with a very unproven team after back-to-back state title runs. They won in 14 and finished runners-up in 15, and that 16 team, people didn't think they had much to offer, but you know, that was that epic game against East St. Louis, and they lost a heartbreaker to Blue Springs in the state semifinals.
Last year, these two teams met at CBC, and the Cadets won fairly easily, 58-6. The Cadets were up 42-0 at halftime. And this year, in the rain, we are almost an hour late on the start time. Most of the St. Louis area underwater, a lot of the games starting late, even a lot of cancellations.
There's been a ton of cancellations. I mean, we were even talking right before broadcast. The Cardinals have gone ahead and postponed their game for tonight to play as a doubleheader on Sunday. So, you know, it's been really weird as I got here a little earlier and watch the weather just kind of fold around O'Fallon. It's almost like the football guys want to see this game get in.
That's right. Roderick Williams is back deep for O'Fallon. Kicking it off is Eric Loomis. And the Cadets will play defense first. We just talked about a whole new cast of characters on defense for CBC. We get to see them early.
We do, but there's a lot of talented guys. You got Mike West out there, who was a starter last year, Jordan Marshall, and here we go.
Kickoff is into the end zone, and O'Fallon will start 1st and 10.
And that's a weapon they had last year that they have back this year. Eric Loomis, outstanding kicker for them, who is looks like he's going to sign with Missouri State to play baseball.
Wow,
nice. A tremendous baseball pitcher as well for the Cadets.
So O'Fallon will start 1st and 10 at the 20. They didn't score their first points in this game till the second half last year. We'll see what happens this year, as starting quarterback is number 12, Ty Michael, the 6'2" sophomore. No, check that. He is a 6'2" junior. Wears number 12 on that blue and yellow jersey with the white numbering and trim. Takes the handoff, or takes the snap and hands it up the middle, and he's got room. Across the 40, 50, 45, 40, 30, 20, 15, and finally run out of bounds. A long run for O'Fallon to start the game right up the middle, number 31, Mason Blakemore.
And, you know, that's not what CBC wanted to see happen, but you saw no quit right there. Cam Powell chases that down. It's real easy for him to give up on that. Number 8, the senior Cam Powell, chases that down from behind. We'll see whether senior CBC can figure out what happened on that particular play, because a huge gap opened up in the middle there for them.
A big play to start the game for O'Fallon, and that's how they wanted to start for sure. Out of the shotgun, it's Michael, flanked to his left, and behind him over his left shoulder is Blakemore, the big 6'2" tailback. He gets the call again. They're going to let him finish the drive, and he does. He's close. Nope, touchdown. 2 plays, and O'Fallon leads CBC 7-0. We haven't seen a whole lot of this the last couple of years.
No, we haven't. But, with it being a young team and a young front especially, it's going to take them some time. Coach Dimovitz's defense is fairly complex. I'm sure there's some nerves and some jitters there. And, it's not the way CBC wanted to start, but, boy, sometimes it takes getting punched in the mouth and getting back up to show what you're made of.
Ian Wagner will come on to attempt the extra point. Where's number 22 for O'Fallon? Snapback, ball is down, kick is up, and it is good. The officials weren't sure, but they end up calling it good, and with 11:41 to go in this first quarter, O'Fallon leads CBC 7-0 in the rain. Coach?
Well, we'll have to see what whether CBC has something to answer on that particular play right there. I mean, they didn't give up the touchdown very easily. It looked like he might not have gotten in, so the front obviously got a little bit better push. But I know that's going to be one of the things they're going to be looking at on the iPad on the sideline right away is where the breakdown was defensively. You've got two new inside linebackers in Ray Lingard, who's going to be the primary running back, and C.J. Liddell are going to be the two guys that are going to be standing in there. And you've got three new guys up front on the defensive line that they're going to be looking to as they work that rotation.
So CBC will now take the ball on offense. And we mentioned the losses on defense to graduation. And, of course, you can't talk about the losses to graduation until you talk about Brett Gabbert, Brian Bradford, 3 wide receivers. But they have guys ready to step in for CBC. The wide receiver, Hahn. Is it Eric Hahn?
Zach Hahn.
Zach, that's right. Zach Hahn had a lot of catches last year, was figured big down the stretch for sure. And CBC will put the offense on the field and show everyone what they have here in just a second. Here's the kickoff. It's a line drive kick towards the end zone. It'll be bounce at the 2. Fielded there by number 22. That's Jeremiah Miller. Miller across the grain to the other side of the field now. Far side across the 25. Spin move at the 30.
It's a good return, but
just outside the 20.
It was a pretty good return, but I think he should have just kept going north and south. He put a little juke move on there, and you're trying to make a guy miss, but just keep motoring upfield, get positive yards as best you can.
So we talk about the excitement the last couple years with all the talent that CBC had coming back and winning state titles, but I think there's an equal amount of excitement to see a lot of these new young guys and really get to see them develop and see what we have here at CBC this year.
I know the coaching staff's extremely excited about this group of kids as they get ready to break them in this season.
Checking to see who's the starting quarterback for the
Aiden
Cadets.
Robinson Wayne.
Looks like Aiden Robinson Wayne, number 14, and a penalty flag right out of the gate. Looks like a offside call on O'Fallon.
They're going to get O'Fallon, but that was close. Our guys jumped, or either they got shoved back. It's hard for me to see through this rain-covered window here, so I got raindrops cloud my vision, and I don't see very well to begin with. So one guy I'm interested to see is number 80, Chevalier Brinson, down here as a wide receiver. He hasn't played football in a few years. He was part of the state championship or state title, state finals run for the basketball team last year.
One of the best sixth men I saw all season. He would come off if he didn't start, when he came off the bench, he provided defense, offense. He could play several positions. Very good basketball player.
So I'm excited to see what he brings to this team.
Another penalty, and that'll be a first down for CBC. So 2 quick penalties by that eager O'Fallon defense, maybe a little too eager.
Well, we'll take it. Give us a little bit of breathing room here.
Robinson Wayne hands it off up the middle, and picking his way across is number 11, Ray Lingard, the 5'6" tailback, picks up a nice gain around 6 or 7 yards, maybe even 8.
One of the most experienced offensive players, him and Zach Hahn, Brady Feeney up front for CBC on offense, so it was 600 yards last year.
And Chevalier Brinson is down on the near side, split far. There's a handoff now. Good spin move to the outside. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. He's gone.
He's not going to get him. That's
Touchdown
Jordan Marshall.
CBC, no flags.
Or Jordan Clay. Jordan Clay.
Bounced it to the outside. The stutter step move. What a move. And then, wow, how about that speed?
Well, it was. And there's a kid right there that I thought last year could have contributed on the varsity significantly had he been not blocked by the likes of Brian Bradford and Elijah Robinson and Ray Lingard. He had so much talent in front of him. And I know they're very high on him and a couple of other guys, TJ Summers, and, obviously Ray.
Loomis to attempt the extra point now. Snap back, ball down, kick is up, and it is good. CBC ties the game 7-7 with 10:55 to play. Hey, O'Fallon, 2 plays and a score. CBC says, we can do that.
little different the way that worked out. A couple penalties mixed in there, but we'll take it. Who knows? Early on, we're looking at a 7-7 game, and we're at the 10:55 mark. We might be here for a while.
Already an hour late on the start time, and now it looks at right out of the gate like we're going to get quite a shootout here tonight.
Let's keep that ball on the ground and eat some clock, boys. I got a 9 a.m. freshman game tomorrow.
Coach Chris Maris alongside. My name's Randy Molman. You're watching CBC Football on the Cadet Student Network, CBC. Here in O'Fallon, Illinois, in the rain. And good that they got this game off. I was a little worried it would get rain out. We'd have to worry about a game tomorrow. And
we're not through the game yet.
We got Labor Day plans.
Yep. I know what you're going to be doing tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, I will be camped in front of a TV for the Mizzou football opener for sure. At Wyoming, and I don't think that's such a gimme.
No, I don't either. I think a 17-point spread on that one's actually a little big.
Yeah.
Considering you're playing in altitude in Laramie, and Mizzou's breaking in a lot of new guys, but Kelly Bryant's an experienced quarterback, and looks like he's going to be a tremendous leader for them.
Let's hope.
But let's get back to some CBC here. Let's see what Loomis has got, whether he's got another touchback in that foot.
CBC to kick off now, tied 7-7. O'Fallon, if you're just joining us, O'Fallon 2 plays and 80 yards, and they took the early lead, but CBC answered.
Eric
79
Loomis.
yards, 2 plays, and the Cadets tied it at 7.
That's 2 extremely deep touchbacks. Now, it's hard for me to tell. He does have the wind at his back, but, Eric's got a good foot to begin
with. He really
with.
does.
But last year what you would see with him is he'd get those touchbacks on line drives. There's a lot more air under the ball on that, and I know that's something when you're trying to hit those touchbacks. You want some air under the ball so your coverage guys can get down there if it doesn't go in the end zone. So that's something that it looks like he's improved on already.
So here we go. O'Fallon, 2 big runs by their tailback, number 31, Mason Blakemore, the 6'2" junior. Had a 70-yard run on his first carry and then punched it in, but there's a new tailback in the game now, and we have a penalty flag on the field. That's the 3rd flag now on O'Fallon before a snap. They had 2 offsides on CBC's first drive. Now they have a false start.
Well, it's exciting for them that they got that touchdown, the big drive, but, they're breaking in a whole new offensive system with a new coaching staff, or at least a new head coach. So there's probably some, uncertainty there too.
Byron Geddes, their new head coach. There's a run, pounding it up the middle, picked up about 6. That looks like number 38. No, number 39. Michael Staley.
They want to get back to the prominence where they and Edwardsville and East St. Louis were just pounding each other for that Southwest Conference Championship. That's what they're trying to get back to.
CBC, nothing there. A gain of maybe 1. It'll be 3rd down and 8 now for O'Fallon. Staley was the ball carrier again, now checking in number 31, Blakemore, who had the big first drive for the Panthers.
This will be the first time we'll see a legit passing down here.
By either team.
Yes.
Out of the gun, it's Ty Michael. Snap, steps back, fires down the right side, looking for his man. He's got him open. Nice catch. Number 11, far side, Latrell Bonner with the catch. The junior makes the grab right at midfield, and that's a big 3rd down conversion early for O'Fallon. Got a little air under that ball. Nice throw by Ty Michael. So 1st down, Panthers.
Trying to see who was on the coverage over there. I can't see very well.
1st down and 10, O'Fallon now. Hand off to Blakemore. He
got hit
stuffed
smack right away.
Right at the line of scrimmage. Nice play, and then the rest of the white jerseys come to help. CBC stuffs Blakemore on that play.
You've already seen CBC make some adjustments up front, whether that be with personnel or just their alignment and their calls. They're playing a lot more physical up front than they did on those first couple plays. So either they kind of settled in or there's been a couple of adjustments made.
Looked like R.J. White was in the middle of it there for CBC. 2nd and 10, no gain on the play. 4 wide receivers in the game for the Panthers.
They were off. They jumped.
And
their whole right side of their receiving core was offside when jumped offsides before the ball was snapped. So
that is the 4th offside or false start call on O'Fallon, and we are only 3 minutes into this game.
One of the things
like you said, a little bit different system, new coach, first game with the new coach.
Well, one of the things you see sometimes is you see a change in the cadence and the way they do the cadence. And if it is different, the kids are just going to take them a little bit to get used to it in game situations.
Michael out of the gun. Second and 15. Here comes the blitz. He's looking for that screen. He couldn't find it. He throws it away. It's intercepted by Cam Powell. He'll take it to the house. Touchdown, CBC.
Way to go, Cadets.
And Ty Michael just wanted to get rid of it. Ill-advised throw. Cam Powell is there waiting and took it for 6. CBC on top for the first time.
Yeah, he was under duress. I don't know if they were trying to throw a screen because it looked like
they were trying to set that up.
Looked like they were trying to set a screen. I think it was. I'm trying to remember. Was it second and long? It's a great screen down if it was. CBC got in there a little faster, I think, than you'd like on a screen, and he threw it in the area where that guy was supposed to be, and Cam Powell just took it to the house.
So Loomis will attempt the extra point now for the Cadets. And a great job of answering. You said it right after that first drive by O'Fallon. Sometimes you want to see how your team reacts when they get punched in the mouth. You don't want to get punched in the mouth, but it's good to see how they react when it happens.
I'll say this.
Extra point is no good. He missed it. 13-7 is the score.
With a young team, I actually don't mind that so much because you're going to be able to talk. You're going to be able to deal with your character right away and answer that bell right off the bat. And it's why you got a good, solidly coached opponent right off the bat. You're not playing somebody doesn't have either the discipline or the athletes to hang with you. And O'Fallon over the years has been a traditionally very, very good program. So, for them to jump out and do that was a great thing for CBC to have right at the get-go.
So CBC takes the lead 13-7. We had a long touchdown run for the Cadets by number 25, Jordan Clay, the junior. And then we have the pick six. Cam Powell picks off an errant pass by Ty Michael and went in untouched, and the Cadets lead 13-7. Loomis missed the extra point on that second touchdown. Let's hope that doesn't come back to haunt him later. Yeah, and Loomis will kick off. Back deep for O'Fallon. Roderick Williams. The kick goes left to right, and a big kick once again will sail into the O'Fallon end zone for a touchback, third straight time. And so O'Fallon starts on the 20 for the third straight time. A lot of excitement in the area for high school football, opening night tonight.
Everybody's excited, and, there's a lot of, I don't think there's a lot of certainty about what's going to happen with this year. I think there's a lot of teams that have a legit shot to make long runs.
As the game goes on, Coach, I want to talk about that Class 6 District 1 matchup.
That's a gauntlet.
Mashing. You've got to be kidding me who they put in that district. All right, Ty Michael out of the shotgun, takes the snap, turns, hands it to Blakemore up the middle, picks his way, across the 25, across the 30. He drags some tacklers. That young man's got some strength, and he showed his speed on the first drive. He's a nice-looking back.
Yes, he is. A big guy, too. Looks like he's pretty physical as he gets up there in traffic.
That was a 6'2" tailback for O'Fallon. And it's first down and 10 as he picked up more than 10 yards on that play. This is the quarterback, Michael, keeping it around the near side, and he's hit out of bounds.
We're going to get a late hit.
Yep. Cam Powell hit him out of bounds.
Took an extra step there. He was going out. Let him go.
And it's a personal foul now on CBC.
So they're going to get another first down plus the yardage that they already got. So they'll be 15 tacked on to the end.
Checking in on defense for CBC is defensive lineman Sam Wiebert. You're going to hear a lot of new names this year. This is going to be fun for CBC. A lot of new names. A lot of these players, though, Coach, did get experience last year. They did
played
get
a lot.
snaps. Yeah. So after the 15-yarder, it's first down and 10 at the CBC 45 for O'Fallon. Michael's got Blakemore in the backfield, 4 wide receivers. Actually, 3 wide receivers and a tight end coming across. Rolling right, looking upfield, and he will run out of bounds.
Pretty athletic quarterback there, kind of working him out on the perimeter there. Outside linebacker, I think it was T.J. Summers on this side. So did a good job there.
How you pronounce 12's name so we don't butcher it when we call it out?
Is it Kokaba?
Call him CJ. CJ. He goes by CJ.
Sorry, folks. Question from the press
We
box
had
there.
a little press box question in the middle of the broadcast, but we wanted to take care of the folks from O'Fallon who had a question.
They're trying to do our kids right, so
Yes,
we want to
yes.
we want to help them out.
So there's a first down run there for O'Fallon, and they're marching here now, trying to tie the game or perhaps take the lead. So a first down and 10 now at the CBC, just inside the CBC 33. Michael out of the gun, hands it off to Blakemore. Blakemore looking, picking, but a good defensive stop there. The defensive line up to the task for CBC. Leading the way there, looked like was.
I think R.J. White was in the mix there.
R.J. White.
He's been in the thick of a lot of stuff down in there.
Number 57, I think Colin Bell was in on that stop as well.
It's a sophomore in there. And who's in the middle there? Is that 62 or 82?
That is 62, Christian Majors.
Okay, a couple of young bucks in there, getting there, mixing it up.
You like to see that? Michael takes the snap, hands it off. Ooh, that's Staley. He's tackled in the backfield, but I think we got a penalty flag. False start again on O'Fallon. That 5 dead ball penalties called on O'Fallon so far early in this game.
C.J. Liddell, the young man in question from the press box,
Made the stop.
Made the stop there, even though it didn't count. So, you've got a mix of seniors who are character guys, and you've got a mix of young guys that are extremely talented, along with, your talented seniors. You've got a lot of good things on this CBC team that hopefully will net a pretty good season.
Low snap picked up by Michael. Plate kind of broke, so he takes off around the end, and he picks up nice yardage. He made something out of nothing.
Yeah, Ray Lingard right there. I think the outside linebacker for CBC overcommitted a little bit, got tied up, and couldn't keep us contained. But then again, sometimes they're sending that guy inside, and they're bringing up a safety or a corner to be the contained guy. So Brady Feeney in the game as a defensive tackle with a short yardage situation.
I did read he was going to get some snaps on the defensive side. Here's Staley up the middle, and he'll get enough for the first down.
Good push there by O'Fallon. This is a very nice drive, but, one of the old adages in high school football is, if you're not going to be able to just smash them and knock them out of the game, make them go slow. Make them, because most high school teams will self-destruct or cause problems. Now, they're doing a good job here, but we'll see whether they can sustain that.
Teams tried to do this to CBC all of last year and the year before, so we'll see what happens. Here's a first down and 10 for O'Fallon. This is Blakemore, and he's busted up the middle for 6.
There you go. They
22
were
yards.
able to sustain that drive. Finally got the big play to finish it off.
Mason Blakemore for 6, and O'Fallon ties the game with a chance to take the lead on the extra point.
So, folks, we got a ball game.
We do have a ball game here in O'Fallon. Coming on to attempt the extra point for the Panthers is number 22, Ian Wagner. It is 13-13, and Wagner about to attempt the extra point to put O'Fallon on top. It was almost blocked, but he drives it through. Jumping through for CBC was C.J. Liddell, and he almost blocked that extra point. He came in free.
He's been very active to start the game. I know they're very high on him to start the season. He's a guy who got a little bit of playing, got some spot playing time last year, and was on the verge of being able to push for a starting job. But now he's the guy in the middle, him and Ray Lingard, and they've got a couple of other guys that are going to figure in that mix as well inside.
So we have a ball game here in O'Fallon, Illinois, with 6:05 to play in the first quarter. The Panthers lead CBC 14-13, and they'll kick off. Already, let's see, we've had 3 drives, 4 touchdowns. Well, no, 4 drives, 4 touchdowns. One of them came back the other way.
Yes, it did.
So 4 drives, 4 touchdowns.
We've only had the ball one time.
Right, that's right.
So they've had it 3 times, and they're 3 for 3 on scoring opportunities. Just one of them was for us. So
that's right. So kicking off is Wagner, back deep for CBC, standing at his goal line. Looks to be number 22, Jeremiah Miller. He'll receive this one at the 5. 10-15 up the right hash. Now cuts it to the sideline. 25, run out of bounds. Close to the 30. Another nice return.
Yeah,
one
little block there, and he had some green space in front of him to keep running. But, you know, anytime you can get that ball out across the 30-yard line, you've done something fairly decent, especially since they're kicking it. They're pinning him in the corner right down deep on the goal line, right inside the goal line. So that's a long time to hold your block on a kickoff return.
First down and 10, Cadets at the 29-yard line. Backing at quarterback for CBC is Aiden Robinson-Payne. Look for number 15, Patrick Heitert, to get a couple of snaps here as we go as well. There's the delay up the middle. Not much there. Looks like a penalty flag. We may get a hold, and there's a CBC lineman down and pounding the turf, and that is never good. Trying to get a number
Yeah,
here.
I can't tell. I'm looking at who's out there, so
you hope it's not Feeney.
Who's 70?
And you just hope it's.
No, Feeney's up.
Yeah, Feeney's up. I see him.
76 is up. Is that Niemeyer?
That's Max Niemeyer. Number 58,
58,
Matthew Mayer's
up. And Zamuta's up. So that's Grant Carter, I believe it is.
Carter. Hard to tell his number from where we are in the booth, folks.
And as a sophomore last year, if that's Grant, you know, he was a transfer and had to sit out a year. But he was a guy that coaches felt like last year as a sophomore could have challenged some of the guys on that offensive line last year. That just to give you a sense of how the coaches felt about his talent level. I mean, there's a guy they felt very, very high. I mean, if you think about that offensive line that CBC's had over the last few years, you know, I mean, almost every one of those guys, with the exception of R.J. Gorsica, is playing football in college, and they thought he could have probably been in the mix there.
So you hate to see that. He's down right now on the turf for CBC, and it appeared like it probably was a knee, but we'll see. He now sits up.
Oh, no, that's 54 Zamuda.
Oh, that is Zamuda. Eric
So
Zamuda.
this is the senior. So
and he is.
I couldn't see Carter standing up over there, but we're looking through that rain-speckled window. It's a
Right.
little hard to make out some of these numbers. You're doing a little better than I am.
Heavily favoring that right knee, and that is not a good sign. You don't like to see that
I
at
wonder
all.
who. I'm trying to see who came in for him. Is that Alex Goulet, 57?
Yep, Alex 53 Goulet.
53 is okay.
So it's Feeney, it's Mayer, 53 Goulet, and then hard to tell on the others. We'll get
It's
to those.
Niemeyer on the left side, and
Yep.
Carter, I think, is the other one.
Robinson Wayne gets the handoff, fires over in the flat, caught by Hahn. Hahn takes it upfield. Ooh, stutter step across the 35, and for a first down, Hahn made that play. What a play. Zach
He did.
Hahn.
He had his 5 yards. You know, that's what we look to get on those screens, a minimum of 5. He had that, and he managed to do a little sidestep there and get us a first down. And Robinson Wayne's first pass attempt of the night. So
3 wide receivers on the near side. Wayne claps for the snap, gets it. Fires over the middle. No, on the far side. Caught.
Tyler
Spin move
Dixon.
on the sideline. That's Dixon. Yep, that's a first down for the Cadets. Couple of nice pitch and catches there from Robinson Wayne to his receivers.
Dixon, a big target senior who picked up some scholarship offers from, I think, some Division I AA and smaller Division I schools over the summer.
Boy, what Chevalier Brinson brings is another receiver with height. We're looking at him on this
body.
near side, 6'3". And then you've got the 6'2" Dixon on the far side. Robinson Wayne's going to keep it himself.
Oh,
that was a really good open field tackle because he would have had a lot of room had he gotten through there.
If he gets in space and he's one-on-one, he might be the shiftiest guy out there.
Aaron Johnson with the tackle for O'Fallon, a really nice play. He saved a big play there, 2nd and 8.
That was so close to being a big one. That would have been like the first play from scrimmage last week in the Jamboree.
Aiden Robinson Wayne now out of the gun once again, and another penalty flag. We'll see who they call this one on.
This is probably
Offside,
gonna be,
O'Fallon.
Okay.
Wow, 6 dead ball penalties in this first quarter alone for O'Fallon. Or against O'Fallon, I should say. Boy, I tell you, it's a nice press box here in O'Fallon, but they pack them in, don't they?
They do. They got
They're all sardine. There's about
with the window over here to the right. They got another 8 guys, 10 guys in there, and
dropped. Art Robinson Wayne pitched it out to Dixon. He dropped it, started running before he caught it.
Tyler's an extremely talented young man who, but his lack of experience, he's going to need to step up and show that he's got the experience, develop that experience to be able to be a clutch performer.
So 3rd down and a long 2 for the Cadets. Robinson Wayne keeps it himself. Plenty of room over the left side. Cuts it upfield, down the sideline, and he's tiptoeing the sideline. He stepped out somewhere over there. Looks like inside the 20. Boy, he was doing a dance down that sideline.
He was, and he's pretty nimble-footed. That was pretty impressive running right there by Robinson Wayne to get the first down for the Cadets. And that's an element you're going to see with him that you didn't really see. Even though Gabbert was a tremendous runner, you didn't need to do that with his ability to throw the ball. That's the element you're going to get with Robinson Wayne.
Robinson Wayne hands it Lingard up the middle. Nice gain of about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. What CBC still has, despite graduation, is a lot of explosive players.
Still excited to see Brinson get a shot at the ball here sometime here in the next couple of plays, hopefully.
Robinson Wayne pulls it down, now runs far side, up the sideline. Picked up maybe 1, maybe 2. We'll see where they spot it over there. Design run as he faked the throw to the near side, then took off across left tackle.
But there you go. So he got about 2 yards, maybe 2.5. But I mean, he made something out of nothing. Once he started to run, it really wasn't there, and his explosiveness was able to get him some positive yards.
3rd down and 4. Takes the snap, looks. There's a screen, dumps it off, cutting it upfield inside the 5. Touchdown. Lingard. A penalty flag comes down. We'll see if that touchdown will stand. A quick dump off to Lingard, who took it to the house, but we may get an illegal block downfield. Let's see.
I don't know if it'd be illegal. It's a hold.
Yep.
So it'd be from the spot. So we'll see where that ends up spotting the ball.
Let's see where they
sorry, folks. We're just trying to figure out where the ball's going to end up as they walk this penalty off. These officials are doing their first game of the year, too.
Exactly. So give them a little time as they march it off here. And they will bring this one.
It's almost going to be the exact same
pretty
play.
much the
I
same
thought
spot.
he was
Maybe
a little bit. I thought he was a little bit further downfield than that, though. And
so it'll be 3rd and 5 after the hold, and CBC.
we're right back where we started.
Yep, big 3rd down here. Driving on O'Fallon, trailing by 1. Robinson Wayne fires it over. Oh, and it's dropped. It's dropped. He was looking for number 8.
There's youth though. There's where his youth came out, because on that particular play, I don't know that Aiden needed to rip the ball quite like he did, and he got it out with as much he put on it. He got it out in front of Cam Powell a little too much. Cam couldn't catch up to it. Now maybe that's what they really want him doing, and that's okay. But that looked like he got a little anxious and just let it rip a little faster than he needed to.
This will be a 32-yard attempt for Loomis. Snapback ball down. The kick is long enough, and it is good.
All right, there we go.
So Eric Loomis puts CBC back on top, 16-14, with a 32-yard field goal out of the hold of Dylan Wardenberg. And a nice drive there. You got Robinson Wayne got a few passes out of his system, his first passes of the game, and so he could settle down a little bit.
He can, and that'll put them in a position to potentially take some shots downfield now that he's kind of gotten some throws in. 2 incompletions there. Nice screen pass that he threw. Couple of the hitch and the one screen pass that he threw to Zach Hahn. So he not a bad start. We'll see how he continues to go and whether or not Coach Pingle decides to put a more complex downfield passing scheme in play at some point in time in this game.
So CBC will kick off going left to right, leading 16-14. The game started about an hour late, in case you're just joining us, and this first quarter feels like it's taken an hour.
It's my bedtime.
It's a long drive. I threw some 5-hour energy in my bag. You want to split one?
I'm good.
Maybe
I'm good.
so we could. If you split one, does that mean we each get two
2.5 hours?
I don't know how that works. Here's the kick, Loomis.
Oh, that's.
It'll curl around the.
That wasn't as impressive. That was more of a directional, more of a directional kick there, and I think had the O'Fallon kid gotten over there a little bit more, he would have had to and caught it. He would have had a return there. I don't know if he would have had much on it, but would have had a shot at something.
The rain has slowed down somewhat here in O'Fallon. Still a few, a little smattering of umbrellas still up around the home stands right in front of us here in the press box, but it appears the rain has slowed down quite a bit. Hopefully we're done for the night.
That would be nice.
So Michael back in the game. He threw an ill-advised throw earlier that turned into a pick six, but then marched the Panthers down the field for a touchdown to give them the lead briefly.
Good
Around
recovery
the
there
side,
by
yes.
Tyler Dixon.
Yes.
They
nice
got a
play.
few yards on there, and he was getting blocked, but he managed to fight off there and still make a nice play on the perimeter to keep him from turning the corner and getting upfield. And I think that's one of the things you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of substitutions on defense for CBC. Oh, we got a penalty. Got a hold
on O'Fallon, so that'll march him back.
Well, from where that flag is, that's going to be half. If they mark spot, that's half the distance to the goal. So they're going to be pinned way deep on this situation. But you're going to see a lot of different people getting a shot on defense also. You're going to see some of the seniors that have put all their time in, and you're going to see some of the young guys that have been learning and have a lot of promise.
Second and check that, 1st and 22 after the holding penalty. Low snap handed to Blake Moore, looking at and coming up to make a huge tackle in the backfield. How about that? Number 34 for the Cadets, Calvin Carey.
Calvin Carey. He's one of the guys that they Luke Carey was his older brother, and they're counting on Calvin to come along and be a guy who might be able to help keep Ray Lingard from having to play in there all the time.
Nice play. He read that play from the beginning, stuffed the hole, and it'll be 2nd and 22. No gain on the play. Blake Moore flanks Michael. Michael takes the snap, 3-step drop. Fires deep down the field, down the seam. He's got a guy. What a catch.
Wow.
What a catch by O'Fallon, number 17. That's Bo Carney down the seam. How about that play?
Well, that was a great play, but, CBC's got to squeeze that coverage once that guy's coming down the seam. It looked like they might have been in a zone there, and they didn't get once it was clear where the ball was going, they didn't squeeze down on the player quick enough in order to keep him from catching that ball.
And that was on a 2nd and 22. So a 1st down pickup. Blake Moore picks up maybe 3. Good team defense there by the Cadets up front. Leading the way there was 57, Colin Bell.
Getting some juniors and seniors. We're calling a lot of, sophomores and juniors. We're calling a lot of names there. So
2nd and 6. Low snap. Fires into the flat. Carney once again across midfield.
Nice open field tackle there.
Yes, good tackle there by number 6, George Cooper, but not before Carney gets the 1st down.
Still, there wasn't a whole lot behind George. If George doesn't make that play, he might be going for a touchdown. So that was a nice play for them.
1st down and 10, O'Fallon at the CBC 44. They got a tight end flanked on the right side. Hand off to Blakemore up the middle. He churns those legs for a pickup of 5, maybe 6. It'll be 2nd and 4.
So they're grinding it out here a little bit. They've been able to hit a couple of big plays on key downs, and they're grinding it out a little bit. And CBC's just got to get their fits and get confident in what they're trying to do.
Fake to Blakemore, rainbow pass, far side, up for grabs and knocked away. Michael put way too much air under that one, and
what
a
was
late
that
penalty
flag?
flag comes in. A late flag, and for CBC, trying to see who broke that up over there on the far side. Number 5?
Yes, number 5, Blair Schonhorst.
Schonhorst broke that up. His jersey sort of scrunched up in the front there.
Yeah.
So I wonder what this penalty is for. Late flag. And as you might expect in this first game, a little bit of sloppy play.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on CBC.
And unsportsmanlike against O'Fallon.
Okay, so they declined.
The old.
So a little pushing and shoving, tell everybody to be quiet.
Right.
I know Charlie Kilby, number 87, was right in the mix of that, and Charlie's always been a spirited young man, so him and maybe one of the O'Fallon guys got into it a little bit.
So it'll be second and make that third and a long 4 for the Panthers. They're calling it 5 on the scoreboard, 1:17 to play. First quarter. We're only in the first quarter. And it's 16-14 Cadets.
This is their 4th possession of the quarter.
They've scored 2 touchdowns and then given CBC a touchdown on a pick 6. Michael, good snap, hands it off.
Ooh,
Juggle.
ran into something there. Pulled it
Michael
out.
Kept it himself.
Nice zone.
Nice fake.
Nice
Fake me
zone
out.
read there.
Yeah.
And pulled it and got the first down. As soon as I saw him get hit, and he did not like, I can tell you right now, 31 did not like getting hit because he got hammered.
Blakemore got hammered up the middle, but a good fake by Ty Michael. Yes, a nice zone read play, and it's first down and 10 now for O'Fallon at the 30. Pistol formation. Sets up, fires down the sideline, has a receiver. Oh, and that was Sean Horst again on the coverage.
He almost
got his
picked
hands
that
on
one
it once
on. In
again.
fact, the O'Fallon guy kind of gave him a little grab on his shoulders and kind of tripped him up. Otherwise, I think he would have picked that off. And, you know, you could say maybe it should have been offensive pass interference, but I'm not going to get too worried about that.
So second down
Good
and
coverage
10.
right there.
Yes, very good coverage. Ball was underthrown. And it'll be second and 10 for O'Fallon, driving here at the end of this first quarter. 46.7 to go in the first. 16-14 CBC. Michael, low snap again. Hands it to Blakemore, who drags some defenders for around 8. Actually, that's Staley, number 39. Michael Staley, the 5'9" tailback.
About second and 4 on this.
So we'll see if they let this clock run down. I don't believe they can. I think it's like a
No, they
0.2
got
seconds. They're
well,
gonna have to run a play. I
It's
think.
going to be really, really tight. They might have the benefit of it. They do, just barely. They could let it run out.
So third down and 3 at the CBC 24. Good snap. Staley bounces it to the outside, but good play by Dixon. He strips the ball. CBC recovers.
Oh, wow.
Tyler Dixon with the strip, and Ray Lingard scooped it up, ran it upfield, and what a play to end the first quarter for the Cadets.
You got 3 seconds left. We still got one play. Maybe we can get a score.
You got the wind at your back.
Well, you do, and I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Pingle decides to do here with the wind at your back. If you want to take a shot, a lot of, and I've said this, I don't know how many times in broadcast, sometimes you take a shot deep on the heels of a turnover because you've got a team that's emotionally upset and you're emotionally excited. Take one shot deep. We'll see whether they decide to do that here.
Arthur McAlpine now is in the backfield. Number 26 for the Cadets. Here's the snap, fires into the flat, caught. That's Chevalier Brinson with his first catch for CBC, and he gets into O'Fallon territory, a 15-yard, 17-yard pickup and a first down.
I was hoping he'd get one here in the first quarter. I think, with a young guy like that, he's a junior. Him and Aiden have a chance to develop, Aiden and Zach have a chance to develop a pretty good rapport for the program going forward. I think we'll be calling his number a lot over the next 2 years.
And when did you say the last time he played football was?
I actually don't know officially. I just know somebody had said it had been a couple of years. He might have played his freshman year wherever he was at. I don't know that officially. But he had played previously, and then on the heels of basketball, he told Coach Pingle, look, I want to come out and play. And they've been happy to have him. They've been really, really excited with the way he's taken coaching. His attention to detail, from what the coaches have said, is tremendous to go along with extreme talent. The same sort of things that we heard from Coach Tatum about him playing basketball was just he's a detail-oriented kid, and he wants to be coached. And there's so many guys that don't want to be coached these days. It's good to have kids that do.
First down and 10 as we start the second quarter. CBC will now go right to left. They lead O'Fallon 16-14. It's been quite a game so far. Robinson Wayne out of the shotgun. He's got 2 tailbacks with him. He'll hand this one. Cutting upfield is Clay. Spin move. Inside the 40. Breaks another tackle and gets down to the 32. Is that
Clay or McAlpine? I think that might have been Artie
McAlpine. Artie McAlpine with a big run. His first carry.
The way these guys roll their jerseys up before they tuck them in their pads, it's hard to see the number sometimes, the way that folds.
You think someone will pay to give us a spotter? Should we get a spotter up here, you think?
Yeah, right.
Took you a second, and then you then you just break out in the laugh.
I'm like, really?
We have another injured cadet on the turf right now, and that doesn't look good either. Already lost. Zamuda, Eric Zamuda, the offensive lineman, senior.
Is he down again?
Is that him?
I thought that might have been Mayer. It looks like he might have gotten the wind knocked out of him, just the way he rolled over. Hopefully it's only that.
They are looking sort of training. The trainer looking at the left ankle, it looks like.
That's the one thing that's one thing CBC does not have a lot of, and that is depth.
On the O-line?
They've been anywhere. I mean, they've got talent at a lot of different places. But when I'm talking about depth, I mean like guys who are either character guys that are mature enough to step in and serve a purpose, or guys that have done it. Last year you had Jake Abernathy, who was a 4-year guy who had been with the program, and at the end of the season when they had some injuries, he was able to step up and be a starter down the stretch in a playoff run. But he had been there. He had been a part of it as a senior. It's a relatively smaller senior class than what we've had the last few years. And there's a lot of great kids in that class and a lot of hard workers and a lot of talent, but there's just not as much of it. And then you're already breaking in a lot of juniors and sophomores with this group. You hate to see anybody else go down here, especially if this is Mayer, the center. That, getting the snap is something you really have to be careful with.
So as they tend to Mayer, looks like it's his left ankle they're focusing on right now. So, Coach, you highly anticipated rollout of CBC football. You've kind of seen what's been going on behind the scenes. Is the first quarter kind of what you expected so far?
It is. I think CBC is still trying to find their identity. And I know a lot of people kind of would laugh about that because of what they've done over the years. But it's been a while since Coach Pingle, and I'm kind of going through him, that I don't know that he's ever really had a legit, true running threat as a quarterback. And so this is the first time that he is kind of working with that.
It's Mayer. 53?
No, that's Goulet.
Oh, that's Goulet.
Well, that was who came in to replace Zamuda.
Oof.
So I think you're going to see some growing pains. You're going to see some plays that you're going to be like, well, what are they doing? Do they know what they're doing? And then you're going to see some plays and go, wow. And it's going to kind of go back and forth like that. But what you'll see over time is you'll see fewer of those plays that you're like, oh, man, and it's going to be a lot better over the long haul.
Christian Majors, number 62, will come in at right guard. That's now the third right guard we're going to see. And we're just here in the second quarter. Snap to Robinson. Wayne, he cuts it upfield, and wow, with a head of steam, he's going to take it all the way for a touchdown.
Told you.
Coach, that kid, that burst around the corner, it's almost as if he rounded the corner and then turned an engine on, and he was gone.
And that's the element that he brings.
Wow.
That is the element that he brings to this. You can't account for that. I know when we play teams like Edwardsville the last couple of years, and some other teams, Hazelwood Central, when they've had those dual threat quarterbacks, one of the things we've seen coaches put the running part or the passing part of the quarterback in their hip pocket and not balance things out. And it helps the defense when you do that. And Coach Pingle is kind of keeping it pretty balanced and allowing him to be who he is.
The extra point by Loomis is good. CBC now with a 9-point lead, 23-14. And if you missed that last touchdown, holy cow, Aiden Robinson Wayne, pay attention, folks. He turned the afterburners on the minute he turned that corner on the far side and left everyone in the dust. He was like the road runner. Everyone else was Wile E. Coyote.
Well, it's funny. He's such a humble, nice kid. you know, you'd think like that he would have such an ego and this, that, or the other. And so I drive the South City, South County school bus a couple days a week, and he's a regular rider in the morning, and he gets up and he's like, "How you doing, sir?" You know, I'm like, "Are you ready?" He's like, "Yes, sir, I'm ready." You know, he's very, very humble and very soft-spoken in the way he goes about doing things.
And he puts CBC on top 23-14 now, 9-point lead for the Cadets. And Loomis will kick off to Roderick Williams, number 2, the junior, standing at his 1-yard line. A lot of juniors on this O'Fallon team. No matter what happens this year, they're poised to be very experienced and very tough next year for sure. Loomis, short kick, and that will land in the hands of number 11 at the 17-yard line. He picks up maybe 10. That's Latrell Bonner, the
pretty good coverage. I'm
junior.
wondering if they were trying to do a pop, get underneath the type of coverage kick, or whether Loomis missed it. That's one of the things they'll do. They have their directional pop kicks where they're trying to get down under coverage and get you inside the 20, try to improve the field position for the defense.
So from their own 28-yard line, O'Fallon takes over. Down 23-14, now going left to right here in the second quarter with 11:13 to play until halftime. Out of the shotgun snap, pistol formation, handoff to Blakemore, but he's got no room there. Good play by that CBC front. Leading the way, number 34 for the Cadets. That is Calvin Carey in on the stop once again.
I think R.J. White in the backfield there. You know, he's a junior they're counting on to do a lot of stuff. And
so 2nd and 10 for O'Fallon.
Christian Majors, I think, is in there, maybe. Colin Bell.
Looks like that Cadet front getting more and more confident as this game goes on. Here's Michael, takes the snap, looks left, now sets up, fires down the seam. He's got a guy wide open.
Oh, chase him down.
Inside the 20, 15, 10, 5, and tackled at the 4. Wide open, Bo Carney, who was running a corner route to the sideline and then turned it upfield down the seam and was wide open. Fooled the CBC corner on that play.
Cam Powell comes up a little limpy on that play. You know, you saw on that play, Cam ended up chasing it down, but he kind of hitched up on that. I didn't see whether Kearney ran a little go, like a hitch and go or a hook and go, or whether or not the coverage was busted up and Cam was supposed to be coming up underneath and somebody else was supposed to be coming over the top.
Handoff up the middle. Blakemore dives, and he's in. Touchdown, O'Fallon.
So as this game goes on and we look at how this develops, the biggest thing that I'm seeing for CBC is they've got to eliminate the big explosive play. They've had the one drive where they got down, and they got that 10 or 12-yard run at the end of the play, but everything else has been set up by big plays. You know, and O'Fallon's made the majority of the big plays in terms of both positively and negatively with the 2 turnovers that have turned into scores for CBC as well.
Wagner for the extra point, snap back, ball down, and he boots that thing through. It's now 23-21.
So it's a 2-point game. We're back to that field goal being the difference in the game right now.
You know, you talk about a couple. It was either last year or the year before. Coach, help me remember when CBC opened with Miller Career, and Miller Career scored 30-something points and had
2
a
years
ton
ago.
of big plays. And you and I said on that broadcast, you know, CBC's defense, first game of the year. Let's see. We'll see how they grow and develop. And then as the season went on, CBC's defense got better and better and better. And I feel like that storybook's being written again here today.
It very well could be. I was wondering what the official was doing, but that could be very much a pattern that we see here. And I got to remember that Miller Career Academy was a very, very good team. They're a state semifinalist team. And, you know, this O'Fallon team is obviously very, very explosive. When you watch their inter-squad film that we got to see a little bit of, you know, you could see the athleticism on the field.
Kick flies deep and into the end zone, and the wind will aid that one, just like it helped Loomis in the first quarter.
There we go.
So the Cadets will start on the 20, up to 23-21 with 10:15 to go until halftime. And put your seatbelts on, folks. This is going to be a wild ride all night long.
This will be interesting to see how this all plays out. And one of the things I always tout is CBC's ability to make adjustments at halftime. And I'm interested to see, one, how the rest of this quarter ends up finishing out, obviously, but also what CBC does to adjust at halftime.
Robinson Wayne takes the snap, hands it off to Lingard. Lingard cuts it upfield, drags a couple of defenders, and a second and third effort, dives. That was a hard 6 yards.
That was a really hard 6 yards, and they need to clean it up there a little bit and try to spring him free. Ray's had some tough running in there. He's gotten some tough yards. After being the change-up back to Bradford is a new role here for him.
So 2nd and 4 for the Cadets. Robinson Wayne keeps it himself. Cuts it up the seam across the 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. He's got one man to beat, lowers his shoulder, and he's finally brought down at the 29-yard line of O'Fallon. Latrell Bonner makes the tackle, and another huge run. I feel like we're going to be saying this all year.
Well,
Aiden Robinson Wayne.
So this is a new wrinkle. CBC's always run a play called flow, where they do this read option up the middle with the quarterback. But on this particular setup here, the goal is to get him outside on the perimeter.
Quick pass to the flat to Zach Hahn, and he's going to go for 6. But we've got a penalty flag on the play, and that will probably be
on
called
the back
back.
side here. We'll see what this is. That's a shame. Zach Hahn just showed. I mean, Zach, put that on your highlight reel still. I don't care if there's a flag. That's a pretty good one. Showed some nice speed on that.
I'll tell you what, the other thing a chop block called on CBC. Oof. One of the things that I'm excited about with this group of receivers also in watching this first quarter plus is the size of these receivers. Zach Hahn is the smallest at 6 feet. You've got 6'2" Tyler Dixon, 6'1" Cam Powell, 6'3" Chevalier Brinson. I mean, they've got some size at that receiving core.
Very big and very fast.
Yes.
Very fast.
So that chop block knocks CBC all the way back to the 39-yard line. They have to get to the 19 for a first down. Quick pass in the flat to number 33 for CBC, and a spin move picks up a few. That's
no number. I don't know who that's supposed to be. Is there another flag out there?
We've got no name on our roster for number 33.
It might be. One of the kids was just saying that might be a freshman Jeremiah Love, but I'm not positive about that.
Well, we can't keep calling him number 33.
No, we can't.
We could, but that's not fair. We'll check at halftime for that for you, folks. On our roster, our 33 is blank, so we're going to check that out for you. We think it's Jeremiah Love. We've got some intel in the booth, so hopefully that is correct.
We're backing up. Are we backing up again, or what do we got going on
another
here?
Penalty on CBC on that play. It's a hold this time.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be
going the wrong direction.
Wow, it was 1st and 20. Now it's going to be 1st down and 24 for the Cadets.
Yep, on the regular online roster that we posted, we don't have a 33 on there either.
So out of the gun. Robinson Wayne takes a snap, looks left, now back right, and he's got a screen set up over the middle. Little bubble screen to Brinson. That picks up about 2. Well read by O'Fallon.
Yeah, O'Fallon was all over that, and it's a good screen. You know, anytime you're 1st or 2nd down and you got long yardage, you know, a screen's got them off balance because you're still in a position to run the ball or throw the ball.
Looked like Joel Guyton was in on the stop for the Panthers. So it's 2nd down and 21 to make that 22, and another penalty flag. We've got no less than 10 flags thrown here in this first half so far. False start on CBC, so it'll be 2nd and 26.
Are we trying to get a match of all the dead ball penalties that they've had? I mean, I think on this one drive we've got more yardage than their dead ball penalties did because all those are 5-yarders, and well, we went 15 and 10 and now 5.
Robinson Wayne sets up, fires over the middle. He's got Hahn wide open behind the safety. Inside the 10, cuts to the outside. Touchdown, CBC.
Are they calling it a touchdown? Because those officials never made it downfield.
No, the one in the middle caught up late and threw his hands up.
Well, I was looking at the side judge running down, and I'm like, he ain't going to get there.
On 2nd and 26, after a myriad of penalties, Robinson Wayne hit Hahn over the middle, just over the safety or the linebacker who pinched.
Nice seam route.
Yes.
Wayne found him right sitting in the hole there. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot around him. And, how often do you see a young quarterback either overthrow or underthrow that ball? And that did not happen. CBC reestablishes their lead back to 9. And now I'm the defense has had a little bit of time on this drive to be able to figure some things out. Hopefully Coach Dimovitz has been able to get them together and get some adjustments as they get ready to come out for this drive, because CBC, even though they didn't traditionally drive the ball, they had some big plays and some penalties and stuff, but they had some time. And that's something that they didn't have a whole lot of, because CBC was either scoring quick based on turnovers or other things. You want to make sure you've got that time.
30-21 Cadets. And, the questions we may have had about the offense, I think, are being answered here in this first half.
They scored 40-something against them last year?
58. 42 in the first half.
First half. We're on our way.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty awesome offense last year. So,
and the wrinkle that you've talked about earlier in this game, the wrinkle with the running ability of Aiden Robinson Wayne, that's the thing that so that offsets the big passing yards Brett Gabbert racks up. Now you got a quarterback who can rack up huge yards running the ball.
Well, I think you're going to be able to see a guy who can get somewhere between 50 and 150 yards rushing every game, and he's going to be able to throw for 150 to 250 yards every game.
Here's another pooch kick and a fair catch by O'Fallon, number 27, Ray Dupius.
In terms of his all-purpose yardage, I just think you're going to see
almost
a wash in the all-purpose yardage between him and Brett. Brett was mostly a passing guy with a handful of runs. Yeah, Brett had a handful of big running games, but I think if Aiden ends up with a big running game, it's going to be a 150, 200-yard game just with his ability to explode.
Last year, Brett Gabbert rushed for 259 yards. I mean, Robinson Wayne could eclipse that in 2 games. So that's the offsetting you're talking about.
Probably close to 100 right now on a couple of his runs that he's gotten. So
handoff up the middle to Blakemore, and he pounds his way for 3, maybe 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Rain starts up again here in O'Fallon. The umbrellas are back out.
It's actually a decent night for football in terms of the temperature, and the rain's a little bit of a nuisance, but it's not terrible.
No, and usually your first game here at the end of August, it's a sweltering.
Yes.
And it's not that way tonight. There's a good defensive play there by the Cadets as they stack Blakemore up. And
C.J. Liddell involved there, Michael West.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard his name much. He's one of the returning starters on this team. Him and Jordan Marshall are 2 of the returning starters on this defense.
Michael West, the 6'5" defensive end. So it'll be 3rd down and 3 for O'Fallon. Now Staley goes in motion on the backside. They get it to Blakemore, and he pounds his way up the middle. Might be a face mask. Looks like the officials missed it. His head turned. I don't know if it was a face mask or not, but it looked like it could have been. He gets enough. 4 yards, 1st down for O'Fallon. And we have an injury. Nope, Blakemore's not going to come out. One of the offensive linemen was calling for the trainer, but Blakemore shakes it off. He's okay.
33 for CBC is junior Kenny Hamilton. He is on our program as number 13. So either there was something wrong with his jersey, he forgot his jersey, or they needed to make a switch for some reason. So
Kenny Hamilton.
Yes. Kenneth. Sorry, Kenneth. I got to make sure you say Kenneth.
West puts pressure on Michael. He fires down the field, and it's broken up again. That's 3 pass breakups today for Blair Schonhorst. Nice defensive play. Great coverage. He had his receiver, Latrell Bonner, blanked over here on the sidelines.
That was very nice coverage there by Schonhorst.
You like to have those big corners, 6-foot corner who can run a little bit. You really like that.
He's a pretty darn good receiver. He played a lot of receiver, both JV and freshman team last year. So
he's just a sophomore. Starting left corner for the Cadets. It's 2nd down and 10 for the Panthers at the 40-yard line. 6:34 to play. 30-21 CBC. First half action. Michael looks. He's pressured. Michael West has him from behind.
There we go.
Big sack there by Michael West.
There we go. Way to go, Big Mike.
And he was in the backfield the previous play. He's getting closer and closer.
Well, as the rest of the defense plays well, it'll allow him more freedom to be able to run around because they won't be able to key on him as, one of the big returners. It's like, okay, well, this guy's got college offers. This is a disruptive force, so we're going to put more resources toward stopping him.
3rd down and 14 just outside the 35-yard line for O'Fallon. There's the snap. Michael sets up. Pressure coming. Fires to the right side, and Sean Horst will get the interception. And he brings it upfield across the 40, inside O'Fallon territory to the 39. And once again, the pressure forced Ty Michael to make a very ill-advised throw.
Well, and there's a situation, and I'm not sure how much experience Mr. Michael has, but that's a situation when you're under pressure like that, throw it out of bounds. Just rip it out of bounds. Even if you get called for intentional grounding, it's better than turning the ball over. Now you gave CBC field position. They already have a 9-point lead. Give yourself a chance to punt and play defense.
And here we go. Patrick Heitert now enters the game at quarterback for the Cadets.
I thought we'd see him for a series in the first half.
And this is the series. So here we go. He hands it off, and this is McAlpine over the left side, tackled there by number 3, the defensive back, Connor Sheehan. Pickup of a couple. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Both of these guys, Heitert and Robinson Wayne, put in so many hours in the offseason. I mean, they were both out there putting in extra time, throwing extra stuff, doing stuff on their own to get ready. So he earned the right to be able to get some playing time.
Listed at 6 feet, 185. He fakes the pass, and he takes it over the right side, cuts it upfield, and he dives forward. A couple yards shy of a first, but we'll have a penalty flag.
I don't know if that's Patrick's strong suit. He's a decent athlete, but I wouldn't even consider him quite as talented a runner as Brett was. So, but I guess they're going to run CBC is going to run the offense they're going to run, but that backs us up here.
So that hold.
It's right at the line of scrimmage, it looks like, maybe a yard across.
So they'll mark off the penalty right now. Cadets lead 30-21, 5:08 to play first half. Been an exciting half. We've had a lot of penalty flags, but as you see, a lot of points on the board. 51 points total, and we still have 5:08 to go until halftime. Heitert out of the gun, 3 wide receivers split to his right. The lone wide receiver, Dixon, split on the near side. That's Powell, He's got one-on-one coverage. Heitert floats it down the field, out of bounds. That's going to be an incomplete pass.
Ooh, that was
Powell
close.
made a great catch, but he was out of bounds, didn't get a foot in. And Heitert's ball a little bit over the back shoulder, and you wonder if maybe he had led him a little bit over the front shoulder. That could have been
He's
6.
trying to put it where the defender wasn't, but not a bad ball. That's a situation where you either want it to go out of bounds or where only he can catch it.
And Powell made a great adjustment on the ball. It just he happened to be out of bounds. So here we go, 3rd down and a long ways to go for the Cadets. 18 yards. Heitert steps up, looks, pressure coming, fires down the field, and that got away from him a little bit high.
Yeah, he was trying to bring it down to Hahn, and he just kind of ripped it, and it went a little deep. So we're going to see the punting unit for CBC.
So with 4:55 to go in the half, this is our first punt of the game, and it'll be Loomis. Looks like O'Fallon will send number 3 back deep. That's Connor Sheehan, the senior wide receiver and defensive back for the Panthers.
I thought we might see Tyler Charlton as the punter, but looks like Loomis is going to at least start out with those duties.
From the 46 of O'Fallon, and he shanked it, kicked it off his shin. That bounced off his inner shin, and that punt goes for 10 yards, and it'll be first down for O'Fallon at their own 36. Looked like
it's a rough turn of events for CBC there with a penalty,
yes.
And you had a good-looking play that didn't quite connect up down the sideline here. So hopefully things will go better for Patrick on his next opportunity.
So Michael back out for O'Fallon running the offense. He's thrown 2 interceptions. That last one didn't end up hurting. The Panthers looking to score here before the half. 4:50 to play. This is Blake Moore weaving his way up the middle. Michael West on the stop. Finishing it off was number 5, Blair Schonhorst. Schonhorst has an interception tonight, as does Cam Powell. Powell, who limped off earlier, is still in the game. He's playing corner on the far side. for CBC.
Yeah, he came off on that defensive play down deep where they got their third touchdown right after that. But I think it was probably cramping up a little bit. He's played a lot in this game.
Hand off again to Blakemore up the middle. Picks his way across the 45. Stopped at the 46. It'll be 3rd and 2 for O'Fallon. West in on the stop for the Cadets.
You're seeing CBC settle in a little bit here.
What O'Fallon's been successful at doing is running that ball at you, pounding it up the middle or off tackle, and then a big play downfield. Here comes the blitz.
Oh.
And wow, Michael kept the ball, and then he threw it to a receiver who was open, but there's a flag now.
I think they're going to get illegal man downfield. 75 is standing on the 45-yard line, and that ball was thrown to the 44. And the line of scrimmage is the 46 on the other side of the 50. So I'm guessing that's what we got.
That was about as sandlot a play as you'll see. Wow, Michael somehow got that ball out.
Well,
CBC
they got a hold of Blakemore. On the
blitz.
blitz, they got Blakemore, and they were still in the mesh, and he was able to rip it out of there and get around the edge, and then we still had him pinned in, and he did a nice job of getting the ball out to throw it, but that was supposed to be run all the way, and 75 was headed down to lead somebody for a touchdown. That wasn't going to happen.
3:43 to play until halftime. 30-21 Cadets. It's O'Fallon football. 3rd and 6. Marked at the 41-yard line. Michael's got Blakemore in the backfield. 4 wide receivers in the game here on 3rd and 6. 3 split out. Far side at the top of your screen, but O'Fallon doesn't like what's happening. They're going to call a timeout.
First time out of the game.
First time out of the game.
We don't have any commercials, do we?
We don't. Should we make some up? 3:43 to go until halftime. It's 30-21 CBC. And there's been some choppy play, a lot of penalty flags, but a lot of scoring.
Well, it's been an exciting first half, quarter and a half that we've had. You've seen the athleticism on both teams in this game. And right now, really, I don't want to take anything away from what CBC's been able to accomplish, but the difference in the game is turnovers. 3 turnovers for O'Fallon. CBC did not get any points on the last one, but they got points on the first 2, and that has been a huge part of this game. Now, maybe if CBC's got possessions instead of the turnovers, maybe if they would have had possessions, they still would have scored. That we don't know. But that's been a huge part of it. So the defense has kind of been, for CBC, has kind of been feast or famine is another way you could look at it. They've either been giving up some points or been making big plays. So for the defense, it's kind of, there's some really good things and some things that they need to work on. And we're seeing them get more and more solidified in what they're trying to do and slowing out O'Fallon down.
So 3rd and 6 after the timeout for O'Fallon. They're at their own 41. A big play for them here in this first half. They're down 9. Looking for a scoring drive before halftime. Michael's got time, fires it deep down the field. He's got a guy behind the coverage. And once again, it's caught inside the 10, dives to the 9. That's Bo Carney, who has consistently gotten past and gotten behind CBC coverage. He's done it several times here tonight.
Yeah, he got behind Michael Walsh that time, and I just don't know whether we're having communications issues on coverage or what the situation is there, but that's something that has presented a problem for CBC.
Blakemore up the middle. He gets a couple down to about the 7, maybe the 6. We'll see where they spot it forward progress-wise. Tyler Dixon in on the stop for the Cadets, and it's 2nd and goal at the 6.
Looks like they're going a little goal line package here.
They are. Number 33, Ethan Tenarwo, who's listed as a tight end, 5'10" tight end. He checks in, and he'll line up right behind left tackle and come in motion. A little extra beef coming out of the backfield. Ball is loose,
down.
And it's recovered, I think, by CBC. It is. Carey jumps on it.
34.
So a muffed exchange, and I wonder if CBC defender got a hand in there on that exchange because it got batted out of Michael's hand.
He got in there so quickly. I mean, they've been timing their blitzes really, really well the last few times they've sent people, and they've been getting some pressure. I mean, you saw it on the play where you had the illegal man downfield, and they did it again right there where he got in there right at the mesh point, and the running back got through there without the ball, and ultimately it ended up on the ground. I thought the quarterback was going to come up with it, but the way the CBC defender fell, it allowed that ball to keep squirting around, and Calvin Carey was able to jump on it.
How about that?
That's a huge turn of events.
Huge turn of events. Aiden Robinson-Wayne now, he's going to go deep. He's got Brinson, makes a great adjustment, and he's fighting the defensive back for extra yards down to the 40.
Got to clap
Look
that
at
one.
Chevalier Brinson.
He had to adjust to that ball.
Great adjustment.
He caught it still.
Yep.
And then did he get another 6, 7,
At
8
least.
yards after he caught it with the guy hanging on him? And I thought he was going to pull out of that guy, and if he would have been gone.
Chevalier Brinson with a huge catch. And, Coach, you talked about it earlier. After a turnover, they went for the big play. Here's Brinson now again working the sideline after the quick pass. And he has stood up after a gain of maybe 4.
He never went to the ground there, folks. He got about 5 yards, and there was about 6 guys on him driving him back, and he still never went down.
6'3", listed at 195.
I think that's
seems a little thicker than that.
He looks a lot thicker than that.
And it'll be 2nd and 6 at the 36. Now the Cadets in a position to put points on the board before halftime. 1:45 and counting. Robinson-Wayne, deep drop. Now he's going to take off running. Up the middle. Avoids a tackler, dives forward close to the 30. You know who he reminds me of? If you can remember his name, and it's been bothering me, and I've been trying to remember his name. The quarterback we played at Edwardsville 2 years ago. The quarterback we played that ended up going to Notre Dame.
Yes.
We'll get that name for you soon. But that's a little bit Robinson-Wayne's game, very similar. Hands it to Lingard, picks his way for the first down. He's got it inside the 30 to the 27. And another CBC offensive lineman went down and we're going to get a timeout with 1:12 to go. Number 76 for CBC went down, Max Niemeyer, and he was kind of rotating his left shoulder, but I think he'll be okay as they go to meet with Coach Pingle on the sideline during this timeout.
Well, that'll be interesting to see how things play out here with a fresh set of downs and a minute 12 left. 2 timeouts still for CBC after this one, and things are looking good as we go along here. Trying to see.
The rain is back in full force. I mean, not full force, but it is coming down. The umbrellas are out here in O'Fallon. It's been a sort of a gloomy, cloudy, rainy night, and parts of St. Louis got dumped on really, really hard. Flash floods all throughout the area. Some games in the St. Louis area canceled tonight. This game was pushed back to an 8 o'clock start as we are approaching halftime at 9:11 p.m. Central. 1:12 to go until the half. Clock is running. Robinson-Wayne fakes it to Lingard, now sprints to the left side. Cuts it upfield inside the 20. Knocked down at the 18.
Kendall Abdul-Rahim was the young man from
Edwardsville. Kendall Abdul-Rahim, and he could beat you with his arm, and man, he had some legs. And I feel like Robinson-Wayne's game is similar, don't you think?
Yeah, there are some similarities. I like Aiden's passing game a little bit better right now.
Oh, what a catch. And we may get offensive pass interference on that play. Cam Powell got himself in position to make that touchdown grab, but he did push off, and it was right in front of an official. And so we're going to get an offensive pass interference call on Cam Powell.
How about my wife pulling the name of the Edwardsville quarterback out?
God love her.
Yeah. I don't know if she looked it up. You know what I bet she did? She's sitting next to my 14-year-old son who's probably looking it up for her while they're watching the game.
Well, at least your wife's watching the game.
Well,
I'm pretty sure my wife isn't.
My wife works at CBC, so she sees a lot of these kids throughout the week, and they're always like, "Did you go to the game? Did you see? Did you do this, that, or the other?" A lot of these kids are in and out of her office with bumps and bruises and needing for ice and stuff.
So after the penalty, offensive pass interference, 10-yard penalty, 2nd and 16. No, 15-yard penalty, excuse me. Cutting it up the field is Clay, and he is ripped down. Nice defensive play there by number 47.
Haven't seen him much.
Since the touchdown
Yeah.
run. Yeah. Caleb
And
Randolph with a nice
he had
tackle.
that big touchdown run, and he hasn't really had many opportunities.
That might have been his first carry since.
Got to wonder about that. So
It'll be 3rd and long for the Cadets with 30.4 remaining and another timeout called by Coach Pingle.
Hey, folks, I got a little ad for you here. Tim Kylo, CSN is once again presented by State Farm agent and CBC alum Tim Kylo. The broadcast booth also carries Tim's name. So as we are in the Tim Kylo broadcast booth,
Right.
even though we're at O'Fallon.
The broadcast booth on the road this week.
So thanks to I gotta get his new title right. Executive Director of, I'm not exactly sure, Patrick Walsh, who still helping us out.
Executive Director covers a lot of stuff. So if we just say
we got too many
Executive
executive
Director.
directors between Executive Director him and Executive Director Brockman. We've got that title covered.
3rd down and 15 for CBC. Ball spotted at the O'Fallon 30, inside the 34 at the 33-yard line.
Big play right here for CBC.
Aiden Robinson Wayne out of the gun. 4 wide receivers in the game. 3 at the top of your screen. He fires down the middle for Britson.
Wow.
Touchdown, Cadets.
Outstanding. There you saw somebody just go up and get the ball. Now, he probably didn't have to because of where he was. I thought it was going to get tipped, but what a great throw, a great catch. Welcome to CBC football, Chevalier Brinson.
3 defenders in the area, and Brinson went up and got it. Pass thrown perfectly over the 2 safeties. The corner was a step behind and couldn't keep up with Brinson. He went up and made the catch with no problems and walked in for 6 on 3rd and 13.
What a great confidence boost for this entire offense, though, to be able to go down, 2-minute drill in the half. Oh, did you see what I saw?
Good. Oh, I saw the lightning.
So I have a feeling we're going to be
strike.
headed off the field. I'm not sure. There are some different rules. It was just a flash. It wasn't cloud to ground, and we didn't have any thunder, or did we?
I don't know. It's hard to hear the thunder in here. 37-21 the score
Well, the
now.
official's coming over and talking to the O'Fallon coach.
Right as Loomis, you probably saw it on your screen, right as Loomis went to kick, a big lightning flash
Yeah, they're calling
came up,
everybody in.
and they're now going to send everyone to the locker room. So we're going to get a lightning delay with 23 seconds to go. Now what'll happen, Coach, right, is they'll treat this like halftime, don't you think?
I'd have to look at the weather delay guidelines, and I should know this because I just took my rules test not that long ago, but I think that they've got to do the 30 minutes.
Right.
They'll come back and play 23 seconds, and then I think they still have to take the 10-minute
Really?
halftime. I think. I'm not positive about that. I hope I'm wrong. I'm going to tell you, I hope I'm wrong. They'll have to take they still have to take the time for halftime, including the on top of the lightning delay. So
we will step aside here in a minute, but before we do, let's talk about it real quick. 23 seconds to go until halftime. The Cadets lead 37-21. That last touchdown drive was a thing of beauty there, Coach. That puts some distance now between the Cadets and Panthers here as we're close to halftime.
Well, you're getting some breathing room. Your defense continues to, play a little bit better. O'Fallon has had some nice big plays, but CBC's been able to counter that with huge turnovers and has done a great job with what they're doing. We just hope that going forward that CBC can continue this and that we're not over here tomorrow calling this game.
And so first half, I want to get your impression. I know it's going to be hard to pick one player, but pick one player in this first half that didn't get a lot of time or any time last year that has impressed you so far for CBC.
It's got to be Aiden Robinson Wayne. I mean, his ability to run the ball, his passing has been above what I thought it would be. I thought he would actually struggle a little bit more than he has. And those 2 pieces right there show me that he's ready to. He was ready to take this to ascend to this role.
And I'll say Chevalier Brinson.
It was going to be 1 and 1A.
Yeah. I'm with you on Robinson Wayne for sure. But if we're all both going to pick someone, I'll go Chevalier Brinson. He has really already in this game said, I'm coming back to play football, and he's put a stamp on this game so far.
He has.
So that's Coach Chris Maris. My name's Randy Molman. The game has been suspended due to lightning. It's been raining pretty much throughout It's 37-21 CBC, 23.6 to go until halftime. We already got started an hour late, but now we're going to go into the lightning break. It's supposed to be a 30-minute break before the players will come back out, and that's if there's no more lightning within view right here at Panther Stadium in O'Fallon, Illinois. Once again, it's halftime. For Chris Maris, my name's Randy Molman. It's almost halftime. We're in a suspension for now. We will be back shortly to bring you some updates as we wait for the lightning delay. You're watching CBC Football on the Cadet Student Network.
Let State Farm agent and CBC alum Tim Kylo protect what matters most to you. Whether it's auto, home, renters, business, or life insurance, for more than 25 years, Tim and his team have helped their clients manage risk and realize their dreams. Tim is a member of the CBC Alumni Hall of Fame and is a presenting sponsor of the Cadet Student Network. He prides himself on serving and protecting our CBC community, and he can protect you too. Give him a call at 314-842-4442 to see how Tim can save you money on your insurance. That's right, Tim Kylo can save you money. Learn more online anytime at timkylo.com.
Men for tomorrow, brothers for life. We say it often and we take great pride in our commitment to this motto. That commitment has become a part of who we are at CBC.
Our brotherhood is well defined. We see it, we feel it, we experience it every day. It's in the relationships we establish, the moments we share, and the memories we will cherish forever.
But what does it mean to be a man for tomorrow? It means that you've prepared your mind, your body, your spirit, and your conscience for anything that life might throw your way. Your experiences at CBC should push you, challenge you, and inspire you to make the world a better place. And after 4 years, every cadet who walks across that stage at graduation will be a man who is guided by faith, strengthened by intellect, committed to justice, and prepared to lead and serve.
I am a difference maker. Oh, I am only one who speaks to him. And I am the friendliest of friends of God. I am a difference maker. Oh, I am only one who speaks to him. And I am the friendliest of friends of God.
At CBC, we win awards, championships, and accolades of all kinds. We love to celebrate together and couldn't be more proud of these accomplishments. But ultimately, our purpose is much greater. CBC is here to develop young men who will go out and make a difference in the world. That's a man for tomorrow.
A CBC high school education is about a transformation from boys to men. It is about the formation of a brotherhood that will stand the test of time. It is about service and discovery. It is about coming to understand the world around us and the people that live in it, and ourselves through real life experiences.
Let State Farm agent and CBC alum Tim Kylo protect what matters most to you. Whether it's auto, home, renter's business, or life insurance, for more than 25 years, Tim and his team have helped their clients manage risk and realize their dreams. Tim is a member of the CBC Alumni Hall of Fame and is a presenting sponsor of the Cadet Student Network. He prides himself on serving and protecting our CBC community, and he can protect you too. Give him a call at 314-842-4442 to see how Tim can save you money on your insurance. That's right, Tim Kylo can save you money. Learn more online anytime at timkylo.com.
We're back on the Cadet Student Network. We've just been informed that tonight's game has been canceled. Both teams came back on the field, and as they were warming up, there was another big lightning strike in the area, and so the officials have cleared the field. The game has been canceled for tonight. It will continue tomorrow. We're not sure what time yet.
Keep your eyes on Twitter, social media, and other outlets that you use to follow CBC athletics. And hopefully we can all be back over here tomorrow and finish this thing off.
That's right. That's Chris Maris. I'm Randy Molman. Thank you for tuning in on the Cadet Student Network, and we'll pick this up tomorrow. Stay tuned on social media for game time.